Hello, my name is Karea, and I am going to be making a scroll today. So, um, I love scrolls, and I love just playing with them, having fun with them, doing things with them. And if you know my YouTube channel, you know that I like magic, and I like playing with energy. I like spells. A lot of the things I do cannot be very much turned into a video. Just sorry, I just don't have the confidence. So I just can't. But I've been working on building that up. And I know that I can make a scroll and turn that into a video and show you guys how. The scroll I'm going to be making today requires no sewing whatsoever. Yay, right? So you're going to need, first, I'm using a mesh board, but you'll need something, preferably plastic, your project can dry on. I'm using a, what's it called? Ultra stiff plastic canvas. It's that plastic mesh that has the square holes in it that you can put yarn through and do designs. I like this because it's got holes, so air is underneath and above, allowing it to dry a lot easier. I also have a beautiful butterfly fabric. I've already cut it down to the size I want, so when I'm done it'll be a little bit smaller than this. Next, we will need tacky glue. I know, so tacky. That is now my catchphrase joke with this. Tacky glue is what we're going to use to hold it all together and hold the sticks in place. You will need 2 sticks. Whatever you pick for stick-wise is up to you. I didn't grab 2 the same size. When you're making the sticks, and you cut them out, be sure to get them the same size. Sorry, I should have prepared better. I cut up all my sticks out, and they're 2 different sizes, and I didn't think about separating them as I cut them out. They're like a centimeter different, so it's not a huge deal. So you have your 2 sticks. I'm using what was bamboo shish kebab sticks. So I had to cut off the tip and cut it around the middle. So you can use, if you know what dowel rods are, they are gigantic sticks that are a little round, and get a nice up view on that camera. You can tell it's not very thick. It's thinner than my finger. I think this is like, what's the size? 5/16 of an inch. I have fat fingers. I don't know. I got them at Fred Meyer's. They're like $1 or $2. You can get them at Walmart or Lowe's or Home Depot. I find Lowe's in my area tends to be the cheapest and with the best quality. Home Depot the most expensive, Fred Meyer's second most expensive, but due to money things, Fred Meyer's is where I got them. I don't go to Home Depot at all. They're just known to be way more expensive than everywhere else. And I have issues finding them in Walmart. Even though my Walmart is smaller than most places. This one we are going to be using ribbon as well. I don't know how well this is going to hold up. I have never used ribbon with this. Oh, sorry. The purple ribbon to match the purple butterflies. So I don't know if you care, but I am going to be using a method I have never used before. On top of just using ribbon, in it and not just tying it at the end. This method is going to have potentially 1 or 2 sticks. I haven't worked out all the kinks yet in my mind. But, I mean, that's why I'm making a video of it. You'll get to learn with me. So the scrolls I'm making in the past, so it's an alteration of this pattern, which is a single thickness. This is an alteration of the original, which this one has the edge folded under, so there's no raw edges, which made a very nice border to paint on. And so this is one of my finished scrolls. This one's going to be different though. I have taken a liking to doing a double thickness because it waves better in the air. Unfortunately, I do not have one I can wave at the moment. Wave around for you at the moment. So, this is a no sewing project, by the way. I can sew, I like sewing, but this is the you sit and watch TV and it doesn't disturb you while watching TV version. Or a movie, or your friend's gaming, or your husband or wife, depending on who you are. So, to get started, and I'm sorry this board isn't higher up, or this mesh board. I don't really have a way to do this. This is my second video I have made. So, the first one was a Facebook Live, and well, I'm learning. So, first you take your tacky glue, and you do a nice thick layer over the whole thing. Or, I guess since it's going to be folded in a way, not too thick of a layer, but yeah. You want to get a nice coating everywhere, and you want to get the edges particularly well, because they are going to be the problem that you're going to have to fix later. Don't worry, you're going to have to touch it up. So, can you kind of see the glue? Yeah, looks like it's sort of visible. Tacky glue is a difficult glue to work with. It works good for small wood projects, ornaments, things you aren't going to wash with, like in the washing machine. So don't stress about this if you get it wrong. This is the not huge on skill part. So after you get the glue on, this version, you take it and you fold about a quarter of it up towards the center. So you've got about half or a quarter folded over, and then the other side is the other quarter folded over. It's sticking to me. That's okay. Alright. Be sure to line the edges so they're kind of flat. Don't worry about the edges being perfectly straight when you fold the fabric. And expect this project to wrinkle. But see how I folded it in towards the middle? And the center line is where it was. So don't worry, and then you press it down. You want to get it nice and pressed flat as you can. I found working on the mesh board, it's very, very nice. Because there's air constantly under and above, it doesn't get as soggy. And because it's a plastic, it tends to come off really easy. So, there we go. Get it nice and pushed flat. Now, as you can see, it's well done. It's nice and flat. Looks almost like I folded paper. Next, ribbon. I don't know how well tacky sticks to ribbon. So please don't ask. I literally don't know. But I'm going to pick a side. Oh, I should do this first. Okay, so if you look, you can see that this side isn't flat. It's got an uneven edge. This side has a pretty flat, even edge. So, before I glue on the ribbon, I want to get the more flat, even edge. I'm not going to trim it that's the fabric's edge, so it doesn't have a raw edge. I don't want to give it a raw edge because that'll be problematic later. But this edge, this is a raw edge. You can see the fabric fray. We're going to trim that down. Trim it down just a little. Make it nice and smooth. Whatever scissors you use, make sure they are not your best pair because they're going to get some glue on them. Wipe off your scissors. Make sure it's all good. I'm going to stick this on this little blade that I'd use for painting. Fabric glue or tacky and plastic don't mix too well. They don't like to glue together. Tacky glue, from my understanding, is often used in dollhouses, so don't worry about it too much. Dollhouses make good glue. Anyway, so we're gonna take the ribbon and glue it down on that center line to cover up our seam. Yes. On our lack of sewing seam-like spot. So don't worry about making it perfect, and it's okay to use a lot, but if you coat it to the point that it's squishy and it runs on itself, it might be hard to roll up later. That's okay. When you work with it, it'll eventually loosen back up. So just lay that on the center line. I did a nice, it's kind of coming off there. You can kind of see there's a nice thick glob of glue right there. Maybe not. I did a nice thick amount. So I'm going to glue down my ribbon in the middle. Now, if you're worried that it's going to not stick, which is definitely a worry of mine, use extra glue. Clear tacky glue doesn't leave a whiteness or a fog. So don't worry about that. It's going to dry. It's going to dry clear. You didn't know the scroll I showed you actually was very, very much soaked on the edges. It was one of my first experiments with that design. So don't worry about it. So you can tell it's kind of folding up and that I didn't get the edge. I got the middle, but I didn't get the edge. So you take your bottle of glue and here we go. So this spot right here kind of comes up. Hi. Alright, so took a break for food and my husband got home. Alright, so I went ahead and glued down the edges of the ribbon and I trimmed it off, cut the ribbon off and trimmed up the edge so it's nice and square or rectangle. It's got nice, pretty straight edges. So now that we're up to that point, we're going to flip it over. This would be the inside of the scroll. So this is the back, and this would be the part you write on in when it's rolled, the inside. So I thought about how I could do this, and I decided I'm going to do like I've done with my others. And that would be taking this. So I'll show you how. So taking the tacky glue, we're going to glue down the edge. We're going to put a nice trail of glue right on the edge. Do a good amount. Let's see. It's not exactly visible, but it goes up to there. Now, when you roll it over, you want to do, or when you put the stick on, you want to you can spread the glue around with your finger, or you could not, or you could, well, just let it squish and spread itself. I did with my last scroll, rolled one side down around with the stick, and it worked really well. So when you fold it over, you want to do just the edge. Now, one side, okay, you want to do about 1 centimeter over the stick. Just a little itty bit. This is because you want the stick to be held in place and the fabric not to move. I found that rolling a bigger stick up against the edge, pressing it firm, gets the fabric nicely firmly pressed down. And there you go. End up with a nice end. And then you repeat on the other side. So you can do a different way if you want, which I found works pretty well if you do it on just one side. And I'm going to do that on this end. This is the end that was originally frayed. So it had the raw edge of the fabric. So as you can see, you can spread with your finger if you prefer that method. Spreading with the finger allows you to get a lot more nooks and crannies and a lot more thorough. You can get right on the edge and your finger can spread glue over the edge. But you don't have to. So I found if I take it and I roll the stick with the fabric, and instead of getting like this side where it's folded over, I roll it over. This would be then the side that you open the scroll from, and this would be the far side, or the center when it's rolled up. I found that doing this prevents an issue that I've come across. It's not a huge thing, it's no big deal. You can do the fold on both sides and it's still perfectly fine. But I have found that when I do scrolls and I roll them after they're done, this folded spot doesn't bend well. So when it's in the center of the roll, so this point, it doesn't like to bend. And so it makes it difficult to roll it. But if I do this, it's ready to roll, if that makes sense, and doesn't have that hard, flat spot. And there you go. The scroll is done. Now let it dry, and that'll take a good while. If there's points that are sticking up a little, like right here, you can see how it sticks up a little bit. That is an easy fix. Take some glue, put it into that point, glue it in, nice little glob of glue, press it down, voila, there you go. And that's generally how you fix most of this. Now, with this, you can draw onto it, you can paint, you could, if you wanted to do some embroidery beforehand and then turn that into the scroll, you could do that. But whatever you do, there you go. If you do, you can also write on it with Sharpie, but as true with fabric paint and Sharpie, it can bleed through. So please be careful if you do that, and don't be angry if it bleeds through. I mean, not too many people look at the back of the scroll to read anything. This is supposed to be a decorative little piece. If you follow my channel, you know that I like magic and spells and such. Oh, I said that at the beginning. But you can draw little sigils or summonings if you'd rather. Or you can do like a string of symbols back and forth or up and down, depending on how you do it or what you do. So have fun with it, enjoy it, and try not to get angry about the sticky mess on your hands that'll happen. Tacky glue does that. Bye.